Hi everyone! Today we continue on with my favourites and non-favourites of the year. However, I've decided to make a slight change. I had some more time over the course of the last weekend, so I decided to bump up the bookshelf tour, and instead of seeing it when you were going to see it, we're now going to see it now. So, this video I do twice a year, and it is seriously the video to end all videos. It takes at least 3 hours to film for a final product that is somewhere around 15 to 25 minutes maximum. So if you enjoy this video, please do give it a thumbs up. I really would appreciate it because it does take a lot to put out these videos twice a year. But I always enjoy the end product, and I hope that you do too. So for my bookshelf tours, they are shorter, but that does not mean that you won't see every single book in my bookshelves. If you haven't seen my bookshelf tour before, I do what is referred to as the one book nonsense. In other words, I'm not going to be standing at my shelf and pulling out random books here and there. You will see every book one after the other in a boom, 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 boom type style. So let's jump right on in. I always begin my bookshelf tours showing you a zoomed out view of my bookshelves and how everything is situated, and then we'll get into the one book nonsense, and then we'll come back here to wrap everything up. Here we go. So I always like to start my bookshelf tours by doing a zoomed out look at my shelves. So this is the first shelf, and at the top where the dragon is, I have my classics. Then below that I have current SAS list books that I'm working on, and on the far right I have some literary fictions. Then below that I have my monthly TBR, on the left what I have read, on the right what I still have to read. Below that I have my contemporaries on the left and horrors on the right. And then below that I have my romances on the left and memoirs on the right. Then to the black shelf, and I have dystopians on the top, fantasies under that. Under that I have some sci-fis, and well, Harry Potter normally is piled up there, but as you can see here I have Harry Potter on my TBR at the moment. Then below that I have some thrillers and mysteries. And then below that my Brandon Sanderson collection, which is a lot longer than it appears. Then to the white bookshelf, and it's Cozy Mystery Shelf 1, Cozy Mystery Shelf 2, which is purely Amanda Flower books, and then Cozy Mystery Shelf 3. Then below that I have some paranormals and fantasies. Below that I have my LGBTIQ plus books, and below that a set of TBRs that I just haven't gotten to yet. Okay, now on to the bookshelf tour, the one book nonsense. I will not be saying star ratings, but you will see every single book that I have on all 3 shelves. Let's start off with my Cozy Mysteries. Starting off with my Amanda Flower books, and we're going to start in that section with the Amish Candy Shop series. Assaulted Caramel, Lethal Licorice, Premeditated Peppermint, Toxic Toffee, Marshmallow Malice, Lemon Drop Dead, Peanut Butter Panic, and Blueberry Blunder. These are the first 8 books in the Amish Candy Shop series. And this is Amish Candy Shop Holidays, which is a set of 3 novellas that intertwine into the Amish Candy Shop series. Flowers and Foul Play, and Death and Daisies. These are the first 2 books in the Magic Garden mystery series. Matchmaking Can Be Murder, Courting Can Be Killer, and Marriage Can Be Mischief, the first 3 books in the Amish Matchmaker series. And finally the Magic Bookshop series, Crime and Poetry, Pros and Cons, Murders and Metaphors, Verse and Vengeance, and Crimes and Covers, the first 5 books, all 5 books from the Magic Bookshop mystery series. As I said earlier, this entire shelf is Amanda Flower works, and my goal is by the end of 2024 is to have this entire shelf filled with Amanda Flower books. Now on to cozies that I predominantly read in 2022. 12 Sleighs of Christmas, 'Twas the Knife Before Christmas, and Slashing Through the Snow, the first 3 books in the Christmas Tree Farm mystery series by Jacqueline Frost. I'll be reading book number 4 in this month, in December. Onto the Spelford Cove mystery series, The Witching Flower, Double Double Tartan Trouble, A Baker's Coven, With a Charm on Top, Icing on the Curse, Bread and Bewitching, and Proof is in the Potion, the first 7 books in the Spelford Cove mystery series by Samantha Silver. The Secrets and Scrabbles series by Josh Lanyon is not in series book order, and that's because it's more aesthetically pleasing having them in this order, and I'll show you why. As you can see, they're different heights. Secret at Skull House, Scandal at the Salty Dog, Body at Buccaneers Bay, Lament at Loon Landing, Death at the Deep Dive, Mystery at the Masquerade, and Book 1, Murder at Pirates Cove. These are the first 7 books in the Secrets and Scrabbles series by Josh Lanyon. On to the Poppy McAllister series, Class Reunions are Murder, Midnight Snacks are Murder, Restaurant Weeks are Murder, Theatre Nights are Murder, Wine Tastings are Murder, Beauty Expos are Murder, Antique Auctions are Murder, and the new release this year, Mischief Nights are Murder. These are the first 8 books in the Poppy McAllister Cozy Mystery series by Libby Klein. And the Friend for Hire duology, A +1 for Murder and A Perilous Pal. Both are the books from the A Friend for Hire mystery series, and they're both by Laura Bradford. And the final Cozy Mystery shelf, some of them I read last year, some this year, some will be on my SAS list next year. Here we go. Bored to Death, Book 1 in the A Board Game Shop mystery series by C.J. Connor. Up to No Gouda by Linda Riley. Death in Castle Dark by Veronica Bond. And Flipped for Murder by Maddie Day. Apple Cider Slang. Pulp Friction. And the Cider Shop Rules, the first 3 books in the Cider Shop mystery series by Julie Ann Lindsay, Beaches, Bungalows and Burglaries, Deserts, Driving and Derelicts, Forests, Fishing and Forgery, and Christmas Criminals and Campers, the first 4 books in the Campers and Criminals Cozy Mystery series by Tonya Kappas. On What Grounds, Through the Grinder, Latte Trouble, Murder Most Frothy, Decaffeinated Corpse, French Pressed, Espresso Shot, and Holiday Grind, the first 8 books in the Coffee House Mystery series by Cleo Coyle. And that brings us to the end of our Cozy Mysteries section, so let's move on to some fantasy and paranormal. The Awakening as Told by the Boys, and Ruthless Fae, the first 3 books in the Zodiac Academy series by Caroline Peckham and Susan Valenti. Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn, the first 4 books in the Twilight Saga series. I will be reading Midnight Sun very early on next year. City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls with the gorgeous Alec on the cover, and City of Heavenly Fire, the 6 books from the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. Clockwork Angel and Clockwork Prince, the first 2 books in the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare, and the Red Scrolls of Magic and the Lost Book of the White, the 2 books from the Eldest Curses duology by Cassandra Clare. Now on to my LGBTIQ+ section. Love, Simon, otherwise known as Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. The First to Die at the End by Adam Silvera. Nate +1 by Kevin Van Wy. How It All Blew Up by Arvan Ahmadi. Kate in Waiting by Becky Albertalli. What If It's Us? What If It's Us? And Here's to Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. You're a Mean One, Matthew Prince by Timothy Janowski. They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. Date Me Bryson Keller by Kevin Van Wy. Conventionally Yours by Annabeth Albert. Captive Prince and Prince's Gambit, the first 2 books in the Captive Prince trilogy by C.S. Packard. History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. The Gravity of Us by Phil Stamper. How to Vex a Vampire, and How to Elude a Vampire by Alice Winters, As Far As You'll Take Me by Phil Stamper, Never Been Kissed by Timothy Janowski, The Foxhole Court by Nora Sakovic, and Helping Hand and Like a Lover by Jay Northcote. And now let's move on to some dystopians. Divergent, Insurgent, Allegiant, and all four books from the Divergent Quartet by Veronica Roth. The Selection, The Elite, The One, The Heir, and The Crown. These are the books from the Selection series by Kiera Cass. Technically The Siren is a fantasy, but since it's a Kiera Cass book, it lives with my other Kiera Cass books. And The Betrothed and The Betrayed are the two books in the Betrothed duology, also by Kiera Cass. The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, Scythe and Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman, Matched, Crossed, and Reached by Ali Condie, Uglies, Pretties, and Specials by Scott Westerfeld. And despite it looking like a horror, it is technically a dystopian, so that's why it lives with the others. The Getaway by Lamar Giles. Time for some more fantasy/paranormal. The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter, Vampire Academy, Frostbite, Shadow Kiss, Blood Promise, Spiritbound, and Last Sacrifice, all from the Vampire Academy series and all by Rochelle Mead. The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty, Caraval by Stephanie Garber, Every Heart a Doorway, and Down Among the Sticks and Bones, both by Shannon Maguire, Nevermore, Wondersmith, and Hollowpox by Jessica Townsend, Personal Demons, and Original Sin, both by Lisa Desroches. The first book I ever finished on my booktube channel, sorry about the camera there, The Replacement by Brenna Yovanov, The Forests of Silence, The Lake of Tears, City of Rats, The Shifting Sands, and Dread Mountain by Emily Rodder, Evermore, and Blue Moon by Alison Noel, and Charmed Trickery Treat. On to my limited amount of sci-fi, Steelheart, Firefight, and Calamity, the first three books in the Reckoners series by Brandon Sanderson, Skyward, Starsight, and Cytonic, the first three books in the Skyward series by Brandon Sanderson. I have not read book 4 yet, but I hope to read it soon. The Calculating Stars by Mary Robinette Kowal, Bot Wars by J.V. Cade, Game Changer by Neil Shusterman, and Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. On to my standard mysteries and thrillers. The Woman Outside My Door by Rachel Ryan, The Guest List by Lucy Foley, My Only Sunshine by M.J. Fleming, Rabbits by Terry Miles, Going Zero by Anthony McCartan, Neverworld Wake by Marisha Pessel. Hello, Calais! I finally updated this edition, the US edition of The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. The Dead Girls Detective Agency by Susie Cox, One of Us is Lying, One of Us is Next, and Two Can Keep a Secret by Karen M. McManus, Mr. Limoncello's Library by Chris Grabenstein, The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides, The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn, The Maidens by Alex Michaelides, and The Couple Next Door by Shari LaPena. Considering I didn't read a new work of his this year, it's amazing that I've managed to amass such a collection. This is my Brandon Sanderson shelf. Arcanum Unbounded, White Sand Volume 1, White Sand Volume 2, and White Sand Volume 3, Elantris, and The Emperor's Soul. It's still my favourite. The Final Empire, The Well of Ascension, and The Hero of Ages, Mistborn Secret History, Warbreaker, The Alloy of Law, Shadows of Self, and The Bands of Mourning, Edge Dancer, and The Way of Kings, Words of Radiance, and Oathbringer. The saddest story is I've had Rhythm of War for maybe 2 years now. I'll be honest, I'm intimidated by the size, so I haven't gotten onto it yet. So Rhythm of War lives on my TBR shelf, but the rest of them live on Brandon Sanderson's own shelf. Now for my classics. Aladdin by Walt Disney, And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame, The Christmas Box by Richard Paul Evans, A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett, The Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. While technically not a classic, it is to me A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, Winnie the Pooh, and The House at Pooh Corner by A. A. Milne, The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. Again, not technically a classic, but is one for me. A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson. The book everyone needs to read. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse by Charlie Mackesy. Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. Excuse me. The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux. The Jungle Book by Rudyard Kipling. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, and another edition of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. These 3 books are the Mina Lima editions, Minalima editions. I think I have about 8 of these in total, but the others are with my mother right now, and I should have them at the end of this month. Stuart Little by E.B. White, A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Sorry for the angle, the camera blurs if I show it front on. The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. See what I mean? Maurice by E. M. Forster. The Magician's Nephew. The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. The Horse and His Boy. Prince Caspian. The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. The Silver Chair. And The Last Battle by C.S. Lewis. My Haley Powell collection was on my SAS list shelf, that's why I didn't include it with the Cozy Mysteries earlier, but here are the 12 that I have so far. Death of a Kitchen Diva, Death of a Country Fried Redneck, Death of a Coupon Clipper, Death of a Chocoholic, Death of a Christmas Caterer, Death of a Cupcake Queen, Death of a Baconaires, Death of a Pumpkin Carver, Death of a Lobster Lover, Death of a Cookbook Author, Death of a Wedding Cake Baker, and Death of a Blueberry Tart. Death of a Wicked Witch is on my TBR for this month, December. And if that's not enough, Death of an Italian Chef is ready for me for January, and Death of an Ice Cream Scooper is ready for me for February, so I'm all good to go. Thank you, Lee and Hollis. Onto my Harry Potter collection. These are the original UK first edition books. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, because it's UK. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets has bookmarks, because I'm currently reading it. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. And Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Once again, these are the Bloomsbury UK first editions, in case you were wanting to collect them yourself. On to some contemporaries, literary fictions or historical fictions. My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. Amanar's Voice and Amanar's Song, both by Henna Khan. The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. Call It What You Want by Bridget Kemmerer. Tell Me 3 Things and What to Say Next by Julie Buxbaum. Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia, Finding Audrey by Sophie Kinsella, and I've Got Your Number by Sophie Kinsella, Letters to the Lost and More Than We Can Tell by Bridget Kemmerer, and 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. Now to my horrors, Pet Sematary by Stephen King, Playground by Aaron Beauregard, Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant, and Misery by Stephen King. The rest of my horrors are by Ian Rob Wright, so let's get through all of them. Starting off with 12 Steps, Dark Ride, Escape, 2389, The Picture Frame, The Housemates, Animal Kingdom, Asbo, Sam, and The Final Winter. And I have so many more Ian Rodwipes books still to read. Onto my male-female romance, P.S. I Like You, Listen to Your Heart, Lucky in Love, By Your Side, and The Distance Between Us, all by Casey West. My one Christina Lauren, Roomies, To All the Boys I Loved Before, P.S. I Still Love You, and Always and Forever Lara Jean by Jenny Han, Dashing Through the Snow by Debbie Maycomber, and Dash and Lily's Book of Dares by Rachel Cohen and David Levithan. And we're going to end this tour with memoirs. Helen Keller's Teacher by Margaret Davidson, Talking as Fast as I Can by Lauren Graham, Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert, Home, A Memoir of My Early Years by Julie Andrews, Unbreakable, and Fearless, both by Yelena Dokic, Cancer Schmancer by Fran Drescher, The Diva Rules by Michelle Visage, Have I Told You This Already by Lauren Graham, Unstoppable, My Life So Far by Maria Sharapova, Behind the Voice by Anthony Kalia, and Bridge Over Troubled Dreams by Delta Goodrum. And that is it. That is the 2023 end of year bookshelf tour. I hope you enjoyed the tour. Once again, if you can, please do give the video a thumbs up. As I say, it takes 3 hours to film this tour for a total of what looks like will be about 25-ish minutes of content. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button and hit the bell ding so that you can be notified each and every time I do upload a video. Because the bookshelf tour was moved up a couple of weeks, next week I will be doing my worst books and my favourite series. So lots to look forward to. In my worst books videos, I go off on why I did not like these books. My top 10, or bottom 10 I should say, books of the year. And then for my favourite series, I'm going to be ranking all of the series in my SAS list. So there we go, lots more fun coming your way with this favourites and non-favourite series. But in the meantime, I'm going to let you all go with peace, blessings, and so much love. Please do be kind and love one another and spread your sparkling energy all throughout the world. And until next time, happy reading. Bye everyone!